All right, joining us now in studio is U.S. Senate candidate for the Republican Party, one of a handful, Mike McFadden. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Ben. Great to be here.
All right, we're going to move on from you, and we're going to talk to your son, Conor.
We've heard amazing things about your son. Mike, you have come on the show and just spoke glowingly of him.
And then ESPN did, too.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they should have interviewed my sister instead.
What is this? What is it? What is it?
Oh, geez, it's offensive formation, a good one.
Wing tee. I had to Google that to draw it, though, so you're a step up. Okay, so you're playing football at Stanford?
I was.
You were. Have you graduated?
I actually have 1 quarter left, but I came back for the year to help out my little brothers.
You played in the Rose Bowl.
I did.
Yes, that's the lead headline there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Underth Rose Bowl game.
It was 80 degrees down at the Rose Bowl, January 1, and so I brought that good weather back to Minnesota with me.
All right, I watched the segment that ESPN did. You're a center.
I am.
But not the starter?
No, I was the backup for the last 3 years.
But you traveled with the team because you have an uncanny ability to remember what's going on, and they can't take pictures in college football. Is that accurate?
Something like that. I just had to figure out a way to get on the bus because it's a little boring being back at school while everyone else is at these great experiences. But I couldn't ask for anything better.
All right, so clearly you're a smart guy going to Stanford. Your mother's genes. Right?
Exactly.
So what do you do with what's your major?
So I'm actually a public policy major.
All right. Mistake. Although it would be nice to have some smart people involved in public policy. Would you, with your football knowledge and big brain, consider going into coaching?
It's an unbelievable opportunity.
Because that's what everybody really wants to do with their life is be a football coach.
I have so much respect for my coaches. I was very, very blessed through my time with St. Thomas Academy, Chad Abbott.
Who's the smartest, best-looking guy I know?
Right. Yes, agreed.
Shout out to Chad Abbott.
He's so wonderful.
I had to.
Talented.
I absolutely had to. But
handsome.
I owe everything to him and had great coaches in college. I don't know if I could live the life of a college football coach, though. I mean, I talked to my offensive line coach, and he had taken 80 separate flights in the month of January.
Just for recruiting?
Just for recruiting.
Wow.
All around the country, from Florida up to New York, down to Southern California. That life is just hectic.
But look at it. I mean, there's an upside. You could have the physical fitness of, let's say, an Andy Reid, Denny Green, or Mike Holmgren.
No, those are NFL quarterback or NFL head coaches.
Well, I assume you're getting
you got to start in college, and those guys are pretty fit.
That's true.
Yeah.
What happens in the NFL?
Money? You get the easy life.
Golf carts. That's what happens.
That's it. All right. Well, Conor, we're very glad that you came in today. I love that segment they did on you. I just thought it's neat to show a smart football player. You're obviously a nice guy, hard worker, and it's nice to meet you in person.
Oh, appreciate it, Jack. Thank you so much.
Get off my radio show. We're going to talk to your dad now.
Well, Jack, I was going to say, Conor joined the campaign full time right after the Rose Bowl. He took a leave of absence from school, and he's been a fantastic addition. We love to have him, but he likes to joke right now. He's a dropout, college dropout, living in his parents' basement.
Well, it's Obama's economy.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
You got to take what you can get.
Right. We're happy to have him.
Well, if you're proud of him, we're proud of him.
We're proud of him.
Excellent.
Have you ever done it? Has he ever done a campaign before?
No.
It's well, your staff will tell you. Either you love it and it's going to ruin your life, or you hate it and you'll go on and do, rewarding things.
Well, and at least my experience, that opinion changes about once every 10 days.
Yeah. And the day after Election Day, everybody hates it, even if you win. All right, Mike, you have, there's a handful of people in the race, but you have outstanding fundraising numbers. Is it that you've raised $1.7 million so far?
We've actually raised over $2.2 million.
Okay.
Wow. But we have
1.7 cash on hand.
Yeah, a little bit more than that cash on hand. So we've worked really hard, and as you know, Jack and Ben, fundraising isn't easy. It doesn't just happen. You got to go out, and it's a lot of shoe leather. But I've always believed there's a market for ideas and for candidates, and you either get funded or you don't. And we're running against Franken, who's the number one fundraiser in the Democratic Party in the Senate. He raised $20 million in 2008. So that's
stunning.
It is stunning.
Yeah.
And I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. I just think about how we put the war chest together so that we run a winning campaign.
Absolutely. Well, and I've said this from the get-go after losing a couple statewide elections the last few years, and Kurt Bills, who I think is a good guy and could have been a really great candidate, that drubbing by Amy Klobuchar, we need a real campaign, a real operation to compete in the big leagues, and it'd be helpful if you're right on the issues too. But certainly, you guys have put together half that at least with putting a good campaign together, and I do think you're right on the issues as well. So I think you're doing just an absolutely great job.
Well, thank you. You do have to be right on the issues. You got to have a message. You got to be able to deliver it with passion, with a presence. And you got to have resources, and I think we've proven that we have all three. We're doing things in a different way, including we're going to win. Mm-hmm. And you got to balance fundraising and messaging with grassroots. And I'm ecstatic about the progress we're making with the grass tops. You saw the steering committee that we released a
that was
week
impressive.
Ago. Yeah, no, it's good. We're working really hard. I've had the opportunity to travel around this state. I was up in the 8th District in the Iron Range last night in Marble, Minnesota with Stuart Mills, talking to 50 rabid Republicans up there who want a mine opened and good paying jobs. And
well, it's not just the Republican who wants that mine open. We talked yesterday with the union leader who wants that mine open, PolyMet mine.
Yeah, and no surprise.
Yeah.
Well, he knows who to vote for then.
Yeah.
Well, right? Absolutely. If you're living up there, and what we got from yesterday's conversation, where we had a Democrat on Democrat violence, is that a good part of this is going to come down to who the governor is. And whatever federal assistance is needed or federal red tape, voting for a Democrat is not going to get you there.
No.
If you want a mine to open, if you want jobs, temporary or not, temporary being building things for 3 or 4 years, or temporary being 30 or 40 years, Democrats aren't going to get you there. They want this mythical healthcare and education economy in an area where nobody's going to live because there are no jobs.
Right. If you don't have families living in your community, who are the doctors going to treat and who are the teachers going to teach?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that really burns me up, or I guess since it's 10 below, I should say frosts me, is the regulatory nightmare. So I was with the senior executive team from PolyMet, good team. They've spent 7.5 years, $150 million through multiple regulatory agencies, and they still don't have an answer. And I think they've been able to prove. My guess is they're gonna get the permit here soon. But I believe in limited but effective government, and this is a case study of anything but limited and effective. How does anything take 7.5 years? And we're environmentalists in Minnesota. We love our lakes.
Very much a conservationist.
And we want to do things the right way. But just give us an answer.
Right.
Can they do it the right way or wrong way? Germany has some of the toughest environmental laws in the EU. A permitting process there would take 3 months.
Wow.
It's just, there's a better way to do it. And I think this is a classic example of inefficiency. Can you imagine if you're in a business and you got to spend 7.5 years and $150 million before you've even know if you have the okay to move forward?
Well, this is what kills me is people don't seem to realize that in business, it's not about what the rules are now. It's knowing what the rules are going to be in 5, 10, 20 years so that you can plan ahead.
Yeah,
right.
There seems to be the mission seems not to be to stop mining, but to put this company out of business through legal red tape.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. You've had excellent fundraising. You're going around the state, but trying to let people know that Al Franken is beatable. You talk to people around the nation, they go, that's a joke, right? A Republican winning in Minnesota, that blue state. St. Cloud State University pretty much kind of buried a poll back in December. It was right after Thanksgiving, showing that Franken's positivity numbers aren't very good. They're around where Obama's are. Franken has a positive rating in this St. Cloud State University poll of 39%. His negatives are over 50. Al Franken's beatable.
Oh, he's absolutely beatable. That poll just was able to show in a spotlight what we knew intuitively. I mean, he's a house of cards. He hasn't done anything in Washington.
Well, he was the 60th vote on Obamacare.
He was the 60th vote on Obamacare. And now those polls are supporting what we've known. He's not just vulnerable. He's very vulnerable. And then last week, Politico came out you guys will get a kick out of this. You probably already saw, but Politico came out and they ranked the senators 1 to 100 in terms of their effectiveness and their ability.
Actually, didn't see this one.
Their ability to co-sponsor bipartisan bills.
Sure.
Guess who was last place?
Number 100.
Number
Dead
100.
last.
Senator L. Franken.
The least bipartisan.
The least bipartisan.
Wow.
And then yesterday they came out with ratings regarding what percent of the time you vote with the president.
Ooh.
Guess who voted 100% of the time with President Obama? Only one of our senators. Guess which one that was?
Al Franken.
Al Franken.
That's amazing.
So
Old 100%. Old number 100 Al Franken.
So we know how Republicans think in this state, but we have a lot of great brethren that consider themselves independent, and they're independent thinkers, and I don't think they're getting an independent senator in Al Franken.
Clearly not. All right, when we come back, let's talk caucuses and guns.
Good.
With U.S. Senate candidate Mike McFadden. If you want to ask Mike a question, you can send it to us on Twitter at TCNT, hashtag TCNT, or give us a call, 651-989-5855.
Up and at 'em.